And that was a cut from the new album by the Mimes. And now our feature presentation.
Shannon.
What's up, buddy? Matches? How's it going, buddy? Hi.
It's going.
Good.
Guess what I heard?
What'd you hear on the street?
I heard you have a crush on Jennifer Bradley.
Dork!
Scuzz bucket.
Buttface!
Needlehead.
Talk show host!
Thank you.
Oh, yeah? CGI stand-in? How dare you?
That means a lot. It really
I never
does.
had a crush on Jennifer Bradley. She was the one girl I didn't have a crush on. I was a little girl crazy, let's be honest. It's true.
I'm real giddy this week, Shannon. I'm so giddy.
Why are you giddy?
As a schoolgirl.
I must know what has made your heart so flutter.
Well, it's our movie this week, Shannon. It's the movie of which we are going to watch Siskel and Ebert's review of and decide for ourselves whether it was good nor bad.
That is true. And we do that on this show called NOMS
Podcast.
Oh! Which stands for?
Nerding Out with Matches and Shannon.
Yeah, I'm Shan DMC.
Matches McGee.
And come here with me. We got a little rhyme that you want to see. It's about movies, fun, and cracking jokes. And if we're good, you'll give us some cokes.
Have you heard the musician McGee? It's spelled MK.GEE.
Yes, I have. And strangely enough, he was not a tiny cartoon character who helped a kid in the 90s with his problems. I was completely mixed up on that.
That's McGee and me, yeah.
That is McGee and me. Skateboard. No, I did, thanks to Saturday Night Live. I never would have known him, but I think he was a musical guest on, I don't know whose episode, maybe Nate Bargatze this year?
Yeah, he's really good. Like his guitar tone and he kind of sounds a little bit like, he's doing a Phil Collins or Sting or, something thing with that kind of thing and some of his music. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay,
it took me a while to get used to it. But now that I am, I'm picking up on it. It's really good. There's a vibe there, yeah.
People make fun of Phil Collins, but don't sleep on Phil Collins. Phil Collins is pretty awesome.
I know, yeah. Him or Peter Gabriel, maybe both of them came up with that iconic compressed drum sound, the gated reverb drums. They actually came up with that they use in the movie we're going to talk about tonight.
What?
I know.
Totally 80s film. Now, listen, last week we did the movie Vibes. We went to the obscure part of the 80s. And we're going to stay in the 80s with the more well-known, I would say, from our generations.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
More well-known. But, okay, so this, and we'll tell the title in a little bit. We want to build anticipation. This is a very 80s film. Just like Vibes was a very 80s film, but in two different ways. I'll explain. Vibes was 80s in the way of they got a concept and they don't quite know how to get from point A to point B. So they go all the way to D and hope you didn't notice. And maybe feel, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of disjointed. And when you watch
we kind of
like,
missed the perfect opportunity to talk about Chekhov's gun. Do you remember this from theater?
Tell me about it. I don't quite remember what Chekhov's gun meant because I don't think he had a gun. I thought he had a dog that drooled.
I think this is something that he said, but it's if there's a gun in Act 1, it better go off in Act 3.
Okay. I get it.
You're setting up things that aren't relevant to your story, And I feel like Vibes did that for me.
A lot of, like the guy with the pan flute. They kept zeroing in on the guy playing the pan flute, and he just played the pan flute. That was it.
It's true. And it's like, where's that going? Nowhere.
Now,
it's
is that the theory that Michael... Yeah, thanks this happened. Is that the same theory that Michael, crap, come on, brain, that Michael from The Office had when he was improvising? I've got a gun! Remember that? No?
Yeah, no.
No, okay. Tell him I've got a gun. Well, this movie is 80s in the way of, this is completely 80s, like fun, and this movie should come with a TM by it because there is so much product placement and just 80s fever. Like there are things in this movie that I forgot about the 80s. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're going from back in 1978 to a totally alien world 8 years later. They're really trying to show that to the audience, to David, who is out of place and out of time. And they really make you seem like you're just alienated in this world,
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah,
and this movie,
it's magical.
this magical movie is called
Flight of the Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator.
You are the Navigator.
No, I'm not. I don't want to be. Flight of the Navigator.
Yes, you are.
Matches, hit him up with a little sizzle on that steak and give him a little preview of what's it about. No? Okay.
Okay, I will,
do it.
actually.
First,
I've
let's
got
do the
this
VCR
written
sound.
down.
Okay.
Let me find my note.
Okay, well, in the meantime, we can get that lovely sound that we get that starts the whole thing with the click, click, Chekhov's got a gun.
Here it is.
Oh, okay. Woo. Man.
Ready to drop at a hat. I love that.
I thought our producer was watching another marathon of Golden Palace. I was getting worried.
It could happen. Yeah.
It's a one-season channel,
Okay,
so it
well,
shouldn't take long.
folks at home, we're doing Disney's 1986 movie Flight of the Navigator, and I'm super excited because this was one of my favorite movies as a kid. This, Return to Oz, and then The Secret of Nim are movies that were just wildly scary or, just kind of really well done.
Yeah.
It might be a little much for kids, but maybe just the right amount, like...
Right, we had to grow up fast.
Yes, they're darker. I can't believe they were ever made. Like
No, you're not wrong because the '90s felt a little bit safer in comparison. The later '90s and the 2000s and everything. But you're right, the '80s was filled with like family-friendly, kid-accessible movies that sometimes kind of weren't. You're like, whoa, what's that word he's saying? Whoa, what's happening with that ghost? What is she doing to Dan Aykroyd?
that
kind of
absolutely. Yeah, they were much. I like this movie because, well, we'll go and get into that later, but we're going to say Flight of the Navigator is a sci-fi adventure film about 12-year-old David Freeman, who mysteriously vanishes in 1978 and reappears 8 years later without having aged a day. As NASA... I don't know why it's NASA. I don't think it would be NASA. And, I think they're giving NASA too much credit here. It'd be the government
It was
or
the
the guys in black. It's fine.
Right.
Like, NASA's cool. Don't get me wrong. Love you, NASA.
You think it'd be like the CIA?
NASA investigates
the
his case. Yeah. And the guy with the glasses in this, I forget his name, but when he
Howard
showed up in an
Hesseman?
80s movie, I love that guy. Oh, man. I always did. I always wondered what happened to him.
Oh, he's
Did
in
he
heaven
die?
now. He did,
no.
but he was in a lot of, we'll talk about Howard Hesseman's career along with everybody else's that's in this movie. It is chock full of beloved actors.
Yes, David discovers a connection to sleek alien spacecraft controlled by a wisecracking AI. Ooh, controversial. Named Max. Together, they embark on a journey through time and space to uncover what happened and return David to his rightful place in time.
And,
Insert anything about synths. Lots and lots of synths.
Right,
and 80s
right,
music.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, lots of synth. That is another reason why I say this is a very 80s film. This whole score was one of the first movie scores to be all synth. And it is synth, original synth, baby. It is synth.
Yeah,
up
well,
in
they
your
didn't have
face.
time to get a band together or an orchestra together or anything. So Alan Silvestri, who has done tons and tons and tons of stuff, said he would do it on this famous, game-changing synthesizer that came out in the 80s. Huge synthesizer,
nice.
of course. Yeah. And so he said he would score it all on that, and he did. Like, I love the theme is really catchy and cool. And then the whenever they show the spacecraft about to take off from NASA or whatever, and that music that plays is I hear that in my head a lot, actually.
That's funny. I know all week, ever since I've watched this movie, I've been hearing the bow, 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 bow.
Yeah,
and it sounds like you're watching Miami Vice or an inspirational after-school special where everybody's like playing a sport, winning a thing, or
and that's what's happened in the movie.
accomplishing
In the
a goal.
beginning, you think you're walking into a different movie than you really actually are.
You really do. You really do. You were talking about a little bit of darkness in 80s kids films, like, from the Goonies to the Dark Crystal, to this, to Labyrinth. Yeah, to Return of Oz. It's a little bit of darkness in this, and we'll explain why in a little bit after the review, because, if you think about it, this kid, like you said, he disappears for 8 years. He's kind of kidnapped.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was only for a few minutes or hours or whatever,
Hours for him.
Technically.
Yes.
Yep, and years for everybody else.
Yeah.
But that's his job. He's a what is he classified as? He's a study researcher robot or something. I don't know. So he goes around collecting specimens.
I forget Trimaxian.
Exactly what it was.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he goes around collecting species from different planets, and they study them. And then they bring them back to the time and place they took them, like they never left at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we will get into
something happened.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, he's the first human that is taken. And so, according to the Trimaxian drone ship or whatever, his feeble little body probably couldn't survive the time travel back. So he just drops him off 8 years later. And we'll talk about that because I got some feelings about that. Okay. I got some feelings. I do. I have some thoughts.
Okay.
So before we get into Siskel and Ebert's review, which, by the way, in case you're listening for the first time on NOMS, Siskel and Ebert, two of the greatest reviewers of our time and any time. That's true. We use their television show from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, and we let them review it, and then we see if we agree, we see if we disagree, we see if we think that Ebert's a snappy dresser. I don't know. Maybe.
True. Yeah.
But I got some thoughts about this movie. You were talking about the pedigree. The director of this movie is
Randall Kleiser.
You want to talk about him real quick?
Yeah, I would like to. That's great.
You froze. Oh, no. Oh, you froze for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We're back. All right. Sorry. Okay. And we're back.
Oh, you're delayed.
Am I delayed?
Yeah. Am I?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as Nicholas doesn't see us delayed.
We'll try to make it work.
Okay, you're good. You're back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And three, two, one. Tell us about Randall Kleiser, the director.
Randall Kleiser is known for directing several notable films, Shannon.
Oh, very much.
Those films include Grease. That Grease. He also did The Boy in the Bubble with John Travolta as well.
Wait, he did? The TV movie?
Yeah, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble in 1974. Yeah. That's so funny. Weird. And he did the original Blue Lagoon.
Yes. And the sequel.
Yes. Yeah, and the sequel? Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah. He also did White Fang.
Yes.
And two of my favorites, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Okay.
At Walt Disney World MGM Studios, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. The Experience.
That was not yet created when we went there the first time in 1990. But they did have some of the special effects from the first movie.
Yeah. 1990, it was Captain EO, I believe.
At Epcot.
Is that right? At Epcot, yeah. Oh, that's right. It was at Epcot. Okay.
Which, in hindsight, Michael Jackson reaching out to the screen to touch you is a bad idea. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then it was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I can't remember what it was after that. I was thinking it was Muppets, but that was at MGM Studios. So
yeah,
I can't remember what it turned into after that, but something. Maybe it's.
What was the other thing you said? He was notable.
It could be Nemo now. I bet it's Nemo now.
Oh, the Nemo Experience? Okay.
Maybe.
Awesome. Sounds fishy. What was the other movie you were going to say he was big for? I thought you were saying...
that he was what?
Well, I thought you were saying...
I was going to say White Fang. Oh, and I like Honey, I Blew Up the Kid and Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. So
well, he's also...
It's My Party as well down.
Nice. He's also responsible for Big Top Pee-wee, the second Pee-wee Herman movie, which I think is just as good as the first one.
It's not, but it's good.
Okay, you don't agree. That's
agree to disagree.
I know you did, but what did I do? And it's by three writers. Two of them, not notable. They're fine. One of them, I bet you know, Mr. I've got it right here on my handy-dandy TV guide. Mr. Phil Janot. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Phil Janot, who you may not know by name, but this was the only movie he ever wrote. But he was famous for directing most of U2's videos from bad to Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own. He directed the Rattle and Hum video. He directed a movie that I think is really underrated that probably no one remembers from the late 80s called 3 O'Clock High. And it's about a kid who...
I know the title.
Yeah.
I've heard the title.
Yeah, we can talk about that movie another time. I don't want to waste our time on that. But if you've seen 3 O'Clock High, you know. He also is famous for directing Gridiron Gang, the Rock movie. Yeah. And, hang on. I've got it written down. My phone's being weird. Stop it. Okay, phone. He also directed a fantastic short film that you can find on YouTube and other places about the Punisher. the only second time that Thomas Jane played the character of the Punisher. It's called The Punisher Laundry Day.
I saw that. It's a short on YouTube.
Yes, with Hellboy, Ron Perlman. It is a 10-minute like tour de force. Like, it's as good, if not better, than the Punisher movie that Thomas Jane made.
Oh, I need to watch it again. I don't remember much.
So good. It is so good. Okay. Like, it's basically the Punisher doing what he does for like 10 minutes. It's like the equivalent of like a comic issue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, interesting. But back to the lecture at hand. Flight of the Navigator. What do you think Siskel and Ebert thought about it? Because I don't know. Did this movie survive to be like a cult classic or a huge blockbuster? Like, what do you think?
Is somewhere in between, maybe?
Okay.
I don't know why.
Because I feel like our generation grew up watching it, loved it. With the exception of me, and it's not that I didn't like. I'll tell you about it later.
A lot of people just didn't know it existed. It kind of went under people's radar, I think, a little bit.
After
a lot of people know about it, but a whole lot of people don't know about it, is what I found. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of half and half.
Yeah, I think Siskel and Ebert are going to like it, though. The synthy soundtrack, and it's got the first real use of like certain type of CGI in the 80s for the spaceship, the mirrored technology of that, and it still looks pretty good, you know? Like,
yeah, the inside of the spaceship to me looks like, you remember when the aliens in Alien would like make a home in wherever they were at, and they'd get it all, squished up. It looks like that, but if they use stainless steel.
Yeah, you can really tell in the clarity of like the new HD picture how cheap the set is, just a little bit. It looks a little cheap to me.
Maybe don't watch it in HD. Maybe don't HD it.
Yeah, the walls kind of jiggle a little bit. If you're, it felt like
you can see a guy working the little eye thing. Hey,
and that's how they did it. I remember they had a behind the scenes featurette on Disney Channel or whatever, and there was a guy back there working it. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, that's how that works.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
Well, let's get on to see what. Let's go and see what Siskel and Ebert thought about this movie. Hey, do you think they disagreed about the movie and they called each other Scuzzbucket and Dork and Buttface?
I hope so.
Man, if only. Hi, I'm Gene Siskel of the Times.
Chicago Sun-Times? Is that right?
Whatever. Chicago Sun of the Chicago Sunflowers. And with me, as always, is my wonderful sidekick who's lost a lot of weight, and I'm proud of you, buddy. Say your name.
My name is Gene Siskel of the Chicago.
No, I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago. How can this be? Imposter!
Oh, my God.
Gotcha, people. Gotcha. So, turns out what we thought was not what we thought.
Yeah.
We thought there was a review online of Siskel and Ebert's Flight of the Navigator. Turns out it was Flight of the Batcrap Crazy. It doesn't exist online. The review.
It doesn't, I guess.
But we're pretty sure they reviewed it, and I thought I read something about it being on their best of 86.
Yeah.
So do you just want to...
But we can't find it.
We don't know that for sure.
Unless they just... Yeah, there's so many movies on the best of 86, it could be one they just left out. Like, we don't have time to find it right now. So
they didn't have time to put it on the show, okay?
We're just going to fill in their words for them.
Yeah, we're going to pretend they loved it. Go ahead, Matches. What would Siskel and Ebert say about Flight of the Navigator?
Well, I think Gene would start, and he praised this movie's special effects. And Disney for making an actual likable kids film that is not pandering to children and is good for children and adults. He's going to praise the music for being new and synthy and cool. He's going to praise the what else was I gonna say? Oh, the CGI special effects, of course. It's new for the time. They are suckers for things like that. Absolutely want to see the new stuff being used to good effect. It was. Yeah. There's a little fat shaming and there's an R slur in here, but we're gonna forgive it for that. We can't do anything about that. This was made in the 80s. So if you're sensitive about it, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
If it's too loud,
don't
you're
worry.
too old. That's
right. You still have to watch the movie.
If you can't handle the heat, close the microwave door. Well, here's what Gene Siskel said about it. Well, I, for one, thought it was fun.
I just did Gene Siskel.
What? Oh, okay, fine. I'm Roger Ebert. Dadgummit. All right, fine. So listen, Gene, I agree with you, but I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why, okay? I thought the movie should have been about the characters of the parents, played with perfection to Veronica Cartwright and Clifty Old. Excuse me, Clifty Young and Veronica Cartwright. I thought the movie should have been about them searching for their child for 2 hours. I would have seen it, while they're also trying to rebuild their house that's a huge money pit.
But you forgot one thing, Shannon.
What's that?
Ebert loves good sci-fi.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He has an appreciation.
He would not want to change anything about this, except for he'd want to have more adventures on the ship, maybe the alien planet, like.
Yeah. He would. They both have their ideas of how the movie should be made, which is so funny.
Yeah.
You
It's
can, like
true.
most movies, there's some movies they don't want to change, and there's some who's like, I could have used the movie about how it is in the accountant's office they spend 2 minutes in. I want to see a whole movie about that.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to. Hey, real quick before we move on, the director that I mentioned, I also forgot to tell you what other movies he directed. He's actually directed some of note. He directed the Red Riding Hood that came out in 2006, and matches you might be interested in knowing. He's acted a little. He had a small role in one of your favorite films, Dying to Get Rich, Susan's Plan. Moving on.
At all.
You don't remember that at all?
No, I don't think so. Did I see
Dying to
Is it
Get
my
Rich,
favorite?
Susan's Plan was a movie with a lot of famous people in it. John Landis directed it. Came out around 98, 99. Went straight to video. Had, I think, Rob Schneider, Dan Aykroyd, TV's Highlander, Laura Flynn Boyle, Lowell from Wings. I know he's got a real name. He'll always be Lowell from Wings. Lots of famous people. It was a bad movie. We rented it, if you remember. And I kept joking about it a lot. Because I think I wanted to rent something else, and you're like, let's rent this. And I was like, okay.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Needless to say, that is
What's
not
wrong
my
with
video
me?
movie pick of the week.
What is wrong with me?
That's okay. How am I remembering this and you're not? I've got kids. I've got an excuse not to remember things.
I ate too many paint chips as a kid. I don't know.
And I didn't eat enough. Listen,
Oh, well.
buddy.
But yeah, I like
I've
how
got two to
Pee Wee
three
Herman
kids.
is actually in this movie.
Okay.
Because I
spoiler
too
alert.
was confused about
was
why
confused?
the ship. I was also confused in the 80s about why the ship all of a sudden sounded like Pee Wee Herman. And I was thinking it downloaded all the information that he had in his brain.
Yes.
And he just learned about pop culture and all that stuff. But he would know about Pee Wee Herman probably, unless he watched it on TV and we didn't see it.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's the thing. So to refurbish that, David gets, he's in 86. He gets dropped off by the ship in 86. And again, I'll tell you my feelings about that. And so NASA wants to research, where he was. They think it's connected with the ship that they found that crash landed.
Because he's been gone for 8 years. He left from 1978, was placed in 1986 by this. We don't know yet at this point in the movie.
We don't know what happened. No,
Yeah.
but we know
And
there's an
8 whole
alien.
years have gone by.
Yes, but we know there's an alien craft that NASA has found. Or was it NASA? Secret NASA. We may never know. So Howard
It was
Hessman.
NASA.
Howard Hessman connects the brain study they did on the kid to the ship. And he's like, I think there's a connection there. We got to study him. So he gets in this nice room, which again has everything a kid from 1986 would ever want. There were new Transformers toys. When I was a kid and I saw that, that was the one thing I was like, he gets Transformers toys? No! Oh, I want to be kidnapped too.
Wow.
Maybe not. I want to be thrown into the future. So he gets Transformers toys. He gets all these cool toys. He gets all the food he wants. And he turns on the TV, and instead of Starsky and Hutch, his favorite show from 1978, he's watching MTV. Which, kids, MTV was a channel that showed music videos and music culture until
was the
I would
first
say
video
the
they showed?
mid-2000s.
What was the
Do what?
video they showed when he turned it on?
Yes.
You remember?
I'm glad you said that. I'd never
Yeah.
heard of them before, but even as a kid, I was like, who is this? This is very MTV. Apparently the band is called Blank Mange, BLANC.
I really liked it.
It's
I
called
wanted to
Lose Your
listen to it.
Love. Huh?
Okay. Blank
Yeah.
Mange.
It's a very 80s looking video. You're thinking like Thomas Dolby mixed with Duran Duran.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
was
if it
like, maybe
real.
I just don't know the song. Maybe I know the band, but I guess not. I don't know.
Well, so anyway, yeah, so he's in this very 80s thing. So that's what I was thinking, just like you, that maybe, when, well, we got to explain what's going on. We're a little lost because the review didn't exist.
Yeah.
Explain what's going on with the kid, why he disappeared, what happened, and why the ship needs him and everything.
Okay.
You want to do that real quick?
Well,
Tell
I
me.
think so. Yeah, it's the 4th of July. They're off somewhere. They're on a. There's a boat. I guess they're on the lake. Maybe
They're in Florida.
they're in Florida, so they're on the ocean. Yeah, or the Gulf of Mexico, whichever one. Yeah, whichever side of Florida you want to go to. Yeah, the Gulf of I don't know, Legally Blonde, whatever you want to call it.
The Gulf of Buckies. The Gulf of Buckies.
Buckies, I like it. Yeah. And so David Freeman is his name. He's a 12-year-old boy. He wears a blue. I used to have a blue shirt that was a polo, and I called it my Father the Navigator shirt because it was very similar.
Oh, that's so funny.
Where it is now. Yeah. I was gonna wear it tonight, but I guess I don't have it anymore.
Nice. I was rocking that shirt before David was too.
yeah, but it's just iconic, that kid in that shirt. I love it.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
hair.
Yeah.
The hair's
Oh
good.
yeah, from the poster. When he's sitting in the Navigator
Oh
chair.
yeah. Perfect. Yeah. And so he runs off to find his brother, right?
Yeah, his jerk. Okay, can I just say?
Okay,
this
talk about the brother, and I'll
I will talk about the brother. Okay, well, I have to explain something first. Now, you said, did you rent this movie when you were a kid, or did y'all see it in the theater? What was your experience?
I don't remember if we saw it in the theater. I know we rented it, and I don't know. It's just one that's just so planted in my brain. I feel like we watched it 500 times, but that's not the case. I just vividly remember every bit of it, to this day. It's the only one.
Like a movie you can memorize and you can say from heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So my experience was a little bit different. So it was 1987 when it came to Vizio, video, VCRs, kids.
Yeah.
And I was at a friend's house, and this friend was pretty well to do. So he had the coolest toys, and he had the coolest backyard. And we were playing, it was a Saturday, and someone had rented Flight of the Navigator. We were all excited. So they put the tape in the living room VCR, and I watched the first 15 minutes of it. And then all of a sudden I was like, I think I want to go play. So I went out and played, and I would come back in every 20 to 30 minutes, and I'd be like, whoa, his brother's older now? What's going on? Oh, head of the class guy? Huh?
Talking about those magical moment of my childhood ruined by you.
I know, you and your brother were so disappointed that I didn't connect with the movie. Just like Tron, and let me explain, just like Tron, it didn't capture me like I thought it was, because I was so excited to see this. I was like, this is going to be the Star Wars, the Goonies,
it's not.
the time.
And you wouldn't really have a movie like this today because it doesn't pop in that movie kind of way. It's not. The characters talk like people talk in real life, and they pull it off. I think they're all good actors, I think, but there's no memorable quotes, really. There are a few, Scuzz Bucket, and then there's, he said he just wanted to phone home. So it was like a E.T. reference in that.
Yes! I can't believe I forgot the E.T. connection.
And then Max comes out and fat shames him for no reason. Calls him a fatty or something. And yes.
Well, so I never really got to see this movie because it just didn't hold my interest. So for years, everyone talks about Flight of the Navigator. I'm like, yeah, I was just the guy in the back going, going, I never saw it all. So when you said we were going to do it.
at some point, I don't understand why you couldn't just go rent it or watch it somewhere.
I should have, right?
And it was played on Disney Channel a lot. So that's
I didn't grow up with the Disney Channel. I'm sorry. I wasn't a rich kid. No, I'm just kidding.
We weren't either.
I know. I'm
we
just
just lived in town, We lived in town, so all that stuff was pretty much free.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mount Holly didn't have cable till the 90s, but no, I was just messing with you. But yeah, so I saw it for the first time just last weekend. And so I wish I could have seen it as a kid, because I don't know if I feel the same way about the movie as you do, but there's so many great things. So again, I forgot his brother was such a jerk. This brother is the worst.
He's a little brother that is constantly on his big brother, and it's like, and the big brother David is just like the sweetest 12-year-old boy, He is
the nicest kid.
Is a monster.
And let me tell you, I was a little brother. I was not that little brother. Like, you can ask my sister, and she'll tell you I put the A in annoying, but I was not him. Because we only see him for like 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. And from those few minutes,
not even
he's
that,
like,
I don't think.
No, he's in the car.
It's not even that long. Yeah.
No, it's not even that long. They're in the backseat of the car, and he's like, and he's like, he's got a crush on Jennifer Bradley. And then when David does something about it, what do his parents say? David, quit antagonizing your little brother.
Yeah, like parents do. Like they don't see what's happening, you know?
No.
Like,
but here's the thing.
Pay attention.
When my sister would wail on me for annoying her, guess who got in trouble? Me.
You good. Yep. It doesn't matter why or how. It just
Yeah, they're like, Shannon, what did you do to deserve it? I'm like, oh, nothing.
Wow. Shannon, I'm sorry.
No, I'm making it sound bad. I'm just saying, like
the abuse you suffered as a child.
Oh, so much. No. She got punished too. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I was like, why am I being punished? I'm the one who got wiped.
Yep, it's true. Yeah.
But in hindsight, I probably was the one going, needle.
Yeah, it could be. But
Yes.
when David goes out into the woods to find him, he literally jumps out of a tree and scares them. Like, that kid was not even scared to be out in the woods in the dark by himself, waiting to scare somebody like he should be.
Well, here's the funny thing about that. Okay, so when they're driving by this friend's house, with all these trees there, he's like, can I go play at my friend's house? And they are doing one of the most 80s things in the world. They are playing on a slip and slide, and they've got fireworks. No parents around, unattended.
Yep.
Kids holding fireworks like, hey, come on over. And that kid does not need a firework.
I remember having a neighborhood bottle rocket war.
Yes!
And we had trash can lids to protect ourselves, and we really could have gotten hurt. I'm just saying, like, and I knew that at the time. But, I think the neighbors across the street were big bullies, and we had to defend ourselves,
I understand you had to check your rep and protect your neighborhood. Yeah.
That's a pretty good shot with a bottle rocket.
That's funny. It's a skill you don't think you'll ever need, but one day, if someone breaks into your house, Matches is going to light them up.
It's true.
So he goes off with his friend, and that's when he, takes the friend's water gun, shoots it at David in the back of the car, and that's when they have the exchange of dork, butt face, gas bucket. And he turns around and shakes his booty at him.
Yep.
He's the worst.
Man, it's so annoying. It's like, why is that kid alive still? I don't understand.
Yes. And then, so after David, so David falls in the ravine after his brother, scares him.
Every time I see any kind of slight hill or ravine, this is immediately what I think of. Every time. I want to fall down and come back 8 years later, everyone wondering where I've been. And I want to look the same.
Right? It is funny because if you think about it, 8 years when we were kids was a lifetime, because he would have gone from 12 to 20. Okay.
Oh, I remember going 8 whole years. Oh my God.
As a kid, that kind of scared you, right? He knocks on the door, and the two people that live there aren't his parents or his brother. So he's like, oh, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, they pull it off just brilliantly. He just falls against the stairs. I just want to go home or whatever, it's like, oh my God.
And little Joey Kramer is the actor's name. He gives such a performance that you're feeling so bad for him. Even the 2 minutes I saw as a kid, I was like, oh, my heart goes out.
He's fantastic. He really is good.
He's very, very good in this.
Yeah, he understood the assignment. And the film is so moody. It stays on shots a little longer than it should. It gives you that eerie feeling to me, and I think that's really well done. Especially in the beginning, I remember you said we texted back and forth, and you were talking about the fake outs. We had 3 fake outs of ships in the beginning, and the one was in the very beginning. And when it does that, they all look up, and it's like a big blimp or whatever, the shadow coming over, and it's just like a hard cut to the next scene. It's beautiful. It really gives you it's very cool. I like the way that was shot.
Yeah, and at the very first of the movie, the beginning, there you see this metal disc, and you're like, oh, is that the UFO? Is that the alien we're going to see?
David's frisbee is metal, so you're getting all these foreshadowing. It's great. I love it. Yeah. Right?
They're having a dog frisbee competition.
You're about to have a 3 minute and 30-second adventure of your life on something that looks just like that, buddy.
With the voice of Pee Wee Herman. Let's talk about that real quick. You were talking about Pee Wee Herman being the voice.
Yes.
So he's not credited as Paul Rubens, though.
Yeah, that's why I didn't realize. But there was no Pee Wee, there was no Paul. But nobody knew what Paul Rubens was back then. He was Pee Wee, literally Pee Wee.
He was at the peak of Pee Wee.
Yeah,
at that time.
And he wasn't Paul Rubens till we knew that in the '90s. I think. Really, he kept
probably after that one little incident. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Nowadays, it's like that was his own business. Why did anyone need to know about that? Why did he need to sour his
it,
career so bad?
It didn't ruin his career, but it did like put a huge pause on his career. Although he did work for a few years after that. You remember Tim Burton cast him in a tiny role as the Penguin's dad in Batman.
Absolutely. Yeah. After that, he did Blow. He had a really good role in Blow. I forgot about that with Johnny Depp.
And let's not forget about one of my favorite films, Mystery Men, where he played the Spleen.
Oh, that's right. Mystery Men. Yeah, he did. He was the best one in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original movie.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. He was the henchman. I forget his name.
Came back and What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show.
Yes.
As a vampire, a real vampire, as himself.
Off the subject, that was one of my favorite episodes because they had actors who had played vampires, and they were part of the vampire
really
council.
Vampires, yeah.
Yes, and then there were their names like Danny Trejo and what's her name? She was. I cannot think of her name. She was married to Marilyn Manson, but don't hold that against her. She was
Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah, Evan Rachel Wood. She was in True Blood. So she was playing. So she was any actor who ever played a vampire. Yes. So even Wesley Snipes showed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the lecture at hand. So Pee Wee Herman is credited as Pall Mall, which is really funny because do you think that was his favorite brand of cigarettes?
I don't know, but I guess he just didn't want to be known for that, which is kind of weird. I guess he did a good job, very good job.
Well, I've read different reasons. Someone said that if you were famous, you didn't get a lot of credit for voice acting back in the day. But that can't be true because on Disney, they would list the characters' names. The actors' names.
I mean, that's kind of true. And that wasn't less true. Well, it was less true whenever, I guess, Bradley Cooper pulled off Rocket Raccoon. The studio did not want that at all. That's not anything. They wanted Bradley Cooper's face in a film. They didn't want him as a voice actor. Once it took off, people were like, oh, yeah, anybody can be a voice actor in anything now. Let's go ahead and do that.
Well, I feel like before that, some cartoons would feature famous people that weren't really voice actors, but they were just famous. No offense, Will Smith is a fish. Will Smith is great, but he's still Will Smith as a fish.
Yeah.
But Nathan Lane is Timon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
But I don't know. He wasn't that known back then, but I don't know if that would have been the nail in his coffin, if
that's true.
Put it on there. Who knows? But he only came out as Pee Wee Herman. He didn't use his real name. No one knew it for a long time, apparently, is what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
You could be right. I mean, that was his biggest creation. And I mean, at the time, I think the show had been on. Mm-hmm. The Pee Wee's Playhouse had debuted. Pee Wee's Big Adventure was one of the biggest movies.
Yep, he would show up in movies and TV shows and award ceremonies, and he was everywhere.
Yes, he would be on talk shows as Pee Wee. He was at the Oscars as Pee Wee. Apparently, RoboCop saved him. I remember this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen clips of it. I can't remember if I watched it that time, but I've seen clips. Yeah, it's great.
And everyone had their Pee Wee Herman impression. I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah. He was everywhere. He was great. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
And the voice of the ship, as you said, eventually, after he scans Max's head, because he has to scan Max's head. Where is my head?
Oh,
not Max's head, Drew.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Navigator's head, David. Yeah.
Where am I? He scans David's head because when he took David, because they study creatures from other planets, he's the first human.
I love the reasoning.
He said the thing about humans only use 10% of their brains. So we thought, why don't we fill the other 90% with maps and charts?
And see what happens. It's like all the information downloaded into his brain, which is kind of neat. Yeah.
It is kind of neat. But I've also heard that 10% thing is not true. We use 100% of our brains, but we just don't use 10%. It's not all the time. I don't know how to make that sense, but
60% of the time, it works every day.
90% of the time?
Our brains work 100%, except for the 80% we don't use.
There you go.
How about that? Yeah.
I would like to think that I reserve 99% for another day.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
But basically, so he needs his head. And then all of a sudden he starts kind of talking like Pee Wee. He's like, he even calls him Scuzzbucket. They have exchanges. And like you said, he does some 80s lines and stuff. And so, Pee Wee Herman
all of a sudden gets silly real quick. Like
he got drunk or something. Like, whoa, who gave this ship some communion wine?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he gets real silly. I love it, though. It's fun.
We would be remiss not to say, I know we mentioned Sarah Jessica Parker's in this movie. Yes. But Sarah Jessica Parker, to me, was a huge part of the 80s, which is funny Because, I mean, okay, before this, she was in Footloose, if you remember. She was Laurie Singer's friend and had a pretty big role in that. She was also one of the huge co-stars of one of the best dance movies of all times, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun.
True, yeah.
With Helen Hunt as the wild friend. Who knew?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, there is no more of a better 80s cheese movie than that. It is great. So she was
I wonder how wild she got in the 80s, though.
Who, Helen Hunt? She looks like she would have been wild before 10 p.m., and that was curfew.
That's right.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, she was in Square Pegs. And here's the funny thing about Sarah Jessica Parker. She was in this movie, and then she was in no other movies until 1991 when she was in what I think is underrated, one of my favorite Steve Martin movies, L.A. Story.
Oh, really?
And then she did a streak for about 5 or 6 years where she played the sexy young vixen, like in a lot of things. And then she did Sex in the City, and no one knows what happened with that show. But anyway. Oh. But she's an intern at NASA here, but she was pretty young in real life. So are you thinking this is like she won an award or she won a prize to be a NASA intern for a week? NASA's young.
I don't know where she came from. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What was her name in this?
Hottie McLottie? I don't know. I always thought she was a cutie. I don't know.
Let's see. I can figure that out real quick. Let's see.
But she is sort of David's caretaker in his room.
Yeah,
which,
Carolyn
like
McAdams. We were like, you brought up something. They missed an opportunity to make her his childhood crush growing up, Like
that's what I thought. When I saw her name, I was like, oh, I bet she plays the Jennifer that he has a crush on.
Yeah,
who
Jennifer
you see
Bradley.
For like a split second. Jennifer Bradley. Do you know what else Jennifer Bradley's been in? The actress?
What? Who? What?
Nothing except for the Navigator documentary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Same with the little brother Jeff, not 16-year-old Jeff, who was awesome. He was
Played by
that
Matt
was a good
Adler.
guy. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, one of the first things he says to David when he sees him, he says, "I'm sorry."
That's true. Yeah, he's like the sweetest guy, and I love it. Yeah.
I know, and it is funny because Matt Adler's had a pretty good career as like a voice artist in movies, and I don't mean like voicing characters so much, but he's like the guy. He's one of the people who, when you have to have voiceovers in a crowd, or voiceovers here, he's been in a lot of famous movies, just doing little voices.
That's cool. Yeah, I noticed he hadn't done like anything big, huge or big after that, but he was married to Laura San Giacomo for a while.
And
so
Daddy,
what?
Right? That ain't no slouch.
I love her. Absolutely adore her. She's cute.
She was Kit in Pretty Woman. She's great.
That's right.
But yeah, Matt Adler, he's had a pretty good career. And we mentioned their names, Cliff DeYoung and Veronica Cartwright as the parents.
Those are my parents, man.
Okay. That's what I wanted to talk about, actually. The family in this movie is so good. It's so believable and so good. You can see the love and you can see the camaraderie. Even though the little brother is a total devil, like you can see there's love there, and there's like the dad gives him advice on how to talk to girls.
Yeah. It's just a slice of life. It really is like kind of it's good. And it's nothing big or over the top. It just is life. It is what it is. And it's so good. Like it's so well done.
Yeah. They're written so well and they play the parents so well that when David, sees them after 8 years, you feel that hurt and that longing.
You see that he doesn't even recognize them almost. Who is that? Like he's just scared to death. And like, cause the dad has, a little bit more receded hairline and his hair's back. It's different.
Mom's hair's
she looks
different.
older and like, there's no makeup. And I think, and like, they look a little older. I remember back then thinking, wow, that is really good. Like it looks like they're 8 years later to me.
Okay. Well, I was thinking like, I'd want to live there because they live like at the sea. They have like a seaside house. The boat docks are.
They're a typical suburban Miami family. Is what they are. Yeah.
Yep. And unfortunately, after he gets taken away, they move away from the sea. But it's still a nice house.
Yeah.
Still a nice house.
To go to Fort Lauderdale.
Maybe Clearwater.
Fort Lauderdale.
Kissing me.
Going to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh. That you know so well. Veronica Cartwright, who plays the mom, she's got a bit of a pedigree. She's got some famous movies under her belt before Flight of the Navigator.
Like Alien? Are we talking about Commander Shepard?
About Alien. Not just that, though. She was in The Birds. She was apparently in Alfred Hitchcock's In The Birds. Now, I've never seen The Birds, so it was probably a tiny role. She might have been a kid. But she was in The Birds. She was in The Witches of Eastwick. She's been in a lot of stuff, but there's just something about her that I don't like, and I don't know what it is. She's fine in movies, but there's something about, like, I don't know what it is. She's kind of jagged looking. She just kind of scares me.
Well, I mean, that doesn't make her a bad person. It just makes her different than you.
I'm sure she's a wonderful person.
And a woman.
Apparently she's British.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never heard her with a British accent, I guess.
I know. Or maybe she lost it. You know?
Maybe. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wondered, like,
now.
I've always wondered what happened to people. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, I need to see this now. I'm obsessed with this.
At least that's what I read. I could have read wrong. Now, Cliff DeYoung is from California. For some reason, I thought he was from Arkansas. He's not. I was wrong. I apologize. Yeah. Cliff DeYoung, he's one of those actors like you've seen, but you're like, who is he? But you've seen him. Yeah. He's been in all kinds of things.
He's a typical 80s dad. Even if you never played another dad, that like he's, to me, a typical 80s dad actor.
He played a 90s dad. He was Robin Tooney's dad in The Craft.
Oh, snap. Love Robin Tooney.
Ooh, yeah.
Sick reference, bro. I love that.
You like that? Thank you. We are the weirdos, mister. But yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. And I got to tell you something he was in that you probably don't even know, but thanks to TBS in the 90s, I know. Did you know there was a semi-sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
That sounds familiar.
Yep. It was called Shock Treatment. And it wasn't a direct
I've never
sequel.
seen it. Yeah.
Okay. But it had some of the actors from Rocky Horror playing different roles. No Tim Curry, no. In fact, Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick did not reprise the role. So Cliff DeYoung played Dagan, help me. Thank you, Janet and Brad. Where is my mind today, along with my
It's all right, man. Yeah, I know. Mine's going to.
It's a weird... Your brain...
We have a podcast.
We're here, live, coming at you. Change the channel, we dare you.
Yeah.
But anyway, Cliff DeYoung was in Shock Treatment. It was a weird movie. And if I hadn't watched on a Friday night on TBS in 1997, I would have never heard of this film. And I'm like,
I didn't know about it for a long time. And we're talking late 2010s. I do. I didn't see it, but I came across it and was like, this can't be real. Apparently, you can watch it all on YouTube, folks. Oh. When I looked it up back then, you could watch it all. So if it's still there, more power to you. Go ahead.
It also features Australia's most beloved actor, Barry Humphries, who you may know as Dame Edna from the 80s and 90s. Really? But also, you may know him as Bruce the Shark from Finding Nemo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This man, he died recently, but this man was prolific.
Okay.
Yeah, but
all right.
Back to Flight of the Navigator. As you said earlier, it has Howard Hessman, who at the time, I believe, head of the class, had just started on TV. Am I right?
Yes.
Loved
Head of the Class. Everyone's favorite Nickelodeon producer was on that show.
Oh, yeah, Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider,
I used to look back and go, wow, I'm so happy that Dennis from Head of the Class has had such success on Nickelodeon. He deserves it.
He really did, though. I mean, that's huge success.
It is
Apparently,
huge
he was a real butthole to get that success. But
quite the meanie Bettini. But Howard Hessman was not only in Head of the Class, though. Way before that, you might remember from reruns when we were kids, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. He was the main guy in that, right?
Well, he wasn't the main guy. No. He was the DJ, Dr. Johnny Fever.
Oh, that was the main guy to me. Okay, I like the DJ.
No, the main guy to me was Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
No, it was Les Nessman.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was Les.
Not my heart. Not my heart.
Open your heart. So what else can we say about this movie? Like I said, I hadn't seen it, and I finally saw it, and I saw it through the eyes of a much older person with less hair. Yeah. And,
so did you like it? Did you even like it?
No. Okay, well, we can say most of that for the rating, but I did like it a lot. In fact, I was surprised I liked it. I thought I was going to watch it and be like, oh my gosh, this does not hold up. But the special effects were cool. The synth music, I'm sorry, I felt like I was watching a 2-hour Miami Vice.
I mean, it might be a quote-unquote children's film, but this is cinema.
No, you're right, Scorsese.
It is.
Well, no, you're
absolutely.
not wrong. Again, the 80s had so many of those movies that kids watch that you're like, is this for kids? But we loved it, and it endured.
That part where David's sitting in the chair, they have the stuff on him, and like all he's like, I don't know, I'm just a kid, and like all this stuff comes up, like the star maps and like the ship, like Oh, it's so eerie and weird and awesome. The music's great. I love it so much.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's very 80s. Very 80s in the sense of like it just takes you back to that time and place.
All right.
That's right. Well, I was going to tell you my feelings about, so he gets taken by this ship, okay? So the ship basically kidnaps him, but instead of taking him back because they say that humans are too fragile and he might not survive the trip, he might turn into Spray Whip. He just drops him off 8 years later. Okay, and here's the thing. If the ship hadn't crash landed into the power lines looking at flowers and lost its data, it wouldn't have come back for him. And he would have been stuck 8 years in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
so that's my feelings about that.
Constantly probed by NASA every day.
No way to stop it. Yeah.
He would literally be taken and they wouldn't see him for 8 to 10 more years or more, if ever.
Exactly. Because Howard Hessman says we're only going to keep him for 48 hours.
48 hours. And that was a whole lie. Like, he was already on the schedule for the next week, apparently.
For weeks, he was on the meal schedule. Yeah.
Did he ever get that McDonald's? I always thought he got the McDonald's, but I never saw it. So,
well, Sarah Jessica Parker said she'd get him a Big Mac and a Coke and fries, but then she starts to list in 1986 all the different Cokes you can have: Diet Coke, Cherry Coke.
Yes.
What?
What is all that?
I know she said New Coke too.
Yeah, New Coke, all of it. Yeah.
I know. It's like
free Coke.
And you got to think, as like a 12-year-old from 8 years ago, there's more than one Coke.
Yeah.
What is happening? It's amazing.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. I really, really liked it. I just wish I had given it a chance as a kid. But like I said, it didn't hold my interest. And believe it or not, little Shannon wanted to go outside and play.
That's cool. I just wish you'd rented it another time or been curious about it at some point.
I thought about it. I really didn't think about renting it every time we went to the video store. Because
I was surprised that the ride in the spaceship across the country was not as long as I remember it being. It was not very long at all, y'all.
No, no. But it feels longer. Oh,
it does feel longer.
We didn't even mention the reason it's been 8 years is apparently it takes 4.4 hours to do a round trip to the planet Phalon, which they just throw in there like you're supposed to.
Yeah, and light speed. Yeah, but the closer you go to light speed, like time, slows down.
Exactly. So 4.4 hours is 8 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I know
that's some interstellar stuff right there. That's some.
That's right. That's some. That's some
real Nolan stuff.
All right. You're right. But I mean, like I said, it's like him and the ship make friends and everything's fine. But at the same time, you're like, well, what if he hadn't crash landed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, he decides to take a chance and take David back in time. And he does go back to 1978 with his family. But he also brought along a friend that we haven't even mentioned yet. Real quick.
Oh, that's right. I don't know his name. I can't remember his his species and his planet was destroyed. He doesn't know. He's mad because he wants to go back home to his family.
Yes.
And he's a cutie patootie little alien that David gets to bring home with him. And at the end, he tells his brother, I just thought that was the nicest, sweetest moment.
And his brother, for the first time in the whole movie, is like, I'm a nice kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to grow up to be even a better Jeff than he was when he was Jeff before. Like, I can't believe that.
He was a great 16-year-old Jeff. He was like, He was.
Imagine how that kid is going to shine.
But he started off being a total scuzz bucket.
Yeah.
On that ship is like samples of other life forms that he's taking back, all played by puppets.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. And I remember the making of featurette. It's magical. All the people behind there doing all the puppetry.
Because it was Disney.
Yeah,
so
and Max
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I feel like most Disney movies that were sci-fi in the 80s had tons of behind the scenes shows because you would see them on network TV, and I'm sure, like you said, Disney Channel all the time.
Yeah.
So they wanted you to be informed.
It's true. Well, we're running out of time, Shannon. What
yes, we are.
You ready to rate this, Jim?
I'm ready to rate this mother. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
It's not perfect, but it is perfect. I'm just going to say that. Like, through the eyes of a child and through my child eyes.
The eyes of a child.
Yeah. This movie is perfect and it's great. It's the right mood. This movie is a whole mood and it is so good.
Okay.
I love the
like
music, the synthy music. Alan Silvestri is just a classic person who scores movies. Whatever you call that. No,
He is a great film. He is a great composer. I agree.
He is. Yeah.
So, do you want to go?
I'm going to
first
give
for
this.
You go.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to give this. Well, I had it before. I was going to give it. I was going to give it 5 out of 5. Whatever that thing is called, but I forgot. So,
Oh no!
so we'll give it 5 out of 5 Beach Boys bops out of 5.
Because they play "I Get Around," don't they? As he's flying.
Yeah. I gotta find a new place where the kids are hip. Come on.
Okay,
I thought that song rocked so hard when I was a kid.
Well, I'll tell you why you thought that, because I feel like every fifth movie we watched as a kid had that song in there for no reason.
Oh, yeah. That's how I grew up with the Beach Boys.
We can ask Becca Licious, she would know. Okay, for me, not having seen it till I was much older than 1987, Shannon.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a little bit less of a score. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. I'm going to give it 4 Scuzz Buckets out of 5.
I really hate
butt
that kid.
Faces. Oh, I hated him. Like,
you'll be glad to know he did nothing until the documentary as well. So
I know. Maybe he got typecast. They're like, "Hi, I'm here to play the kid." And no, you're that kid.
Nope,
no, you go.
Not you.
You go.
Not you.
Not
he was
today,
blacklisted
punk.
because of how good he did in that movie.
Yes, and I think we all know a kid like that when we were growing up in the 80s. I did. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was Flight of the Navigator, which you can find on Disney Plus and lots of other outlets, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or playing in Match's room right now if you want to go by the window.
That's true. Yeah. Come on in, guys. Well, you got to stay out there, but it's fine.
He'll throw you some snacks.
That's true.
Awesome. And we just got dropped off by an alien 8 hours later. Whoo!
Ooh, 8 whole hours. Oh, my goodness.
I thought I was going to starve. Thank goodness he had lots of food. He had that. That was food, wasn't it? I mean, I did hear a scream and oh, geez.
What? Where were
Nothing.
you? Okay.
I was the only one on the ship, right? Never mind. Okay. So what's the next segment?
Next segment is
I
where
hate the puppets.
Shannon attempts a theme song for the show.
Oh, I think you mean Shannon nails a theme song. In the words of Michael Douglas in Basic Instinct, and then I'll nail you.
Huh.
Yeah. No, attempt is the proper word. This is the part of the show where I attempt to sing a lovely theme song, either about our show or about this movie. And this movie inspired me to write a completely original song with completely original music and lyrics. I think you're going to like it.
As per usual, yeah.
Hopefully you're going to like it, hopefully. And away we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Walking in the woods with my dog, I fell in a big ravine. Down. Ran right home, but my family was nowhere to be seen.
No, they weren't.
Well, I traveled in time. I'm pretty sure kidnapping's a crime. Now I'm watching MTV, drinking New Coke for a while. Here we go. Then this clamshell brings me on inside. Ooh, says it needs my brain to go for a ride. Ooh, so I'll walk inside. Come on, David, let's get away. Ooh, I need your knowledge to navigate. Ooh, sorry I took you so far away. Ooh, tell that Sarah Jessica Parker I said hey. Come on, Matches. Navigate. We'll have a good flight. Navigate. Leave your family behind. Navigate. Take you through time. Navigate. Let's go back to space. Navigate. Navigate. Going back might hurt. Navigate. Your brother's such a jerk. Navigate. We zoom through the sky. Navigate. I know you are, but what am I? Thank you.
Brilliant.
Woo! That is Shannon, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Woo.
One of my favorite songs from '89 or so.
Oh, yeah. I miss you much, right? No. Let's wait a while.
Escapade.
I know. Escapade is the best. But that's not the song I did. Copyrights.
No, you did your own original song.
That's right. You know that Jackson family will sue.
That reminds me of, I forgot to even mention about when they go back in time to put David back, and the effects on him looks like blood or something, red.
Oh.
And it's mixed around. Like, it got really scary for a second because he really shuts down a little bit, and like it's showing all of this imagery on his little screen or whatever it is. It's a yellow light usually, or I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
Well, Max did tell him he was afraid if he took him back that he'd like melt or disintegrate,
Yeah, it got real scary for a minute.
You're thinking, oh my gosh, is Disney about to kill a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was willing to try it just to not have to go back.
He's like, I don't care. I hate the 80s.
Yeah. It's like, I either die or I get back,
Yeah, right? And then, of course, Max is like, gag me with a spoon. Well,
Absolutely.
it's kind of funny. Yeah. I'd rather die than be in the 80s. That's funny. But the 80s was so great. It is kind of funny. I forgot it started in 1978. I forgot that as a kid. Because if
the
you think
year I was born.
Aw, and I was a year old when this movie is set. I was with a baby. A wee baby. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now. I am a week older than Star Wars. The original Star Wars.
Wow, yeah.
That's right. It came out on my sister's first birthday. So, and I kept telling my parents I want to go see it. But I was just a week old, so they couldn't understand me. I mean, I was going,
True.
Mom, Dad, we got to go see the greatest movie ever made. But to them, it sounded like,
Yeah.
Wah.
Well, I was 8 when the Navigator came out, so it was like the perfect age, It was
Nice.
8 years, that's how old I am. I would be 16,
Did it come out in the summer of 86 or like the fall, winter?
Unsure.
Me too. I do remember a lot of TV spots for it and seeing it a lot. I was like, this looks shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of shine, we're about to do a segment that everyone loves on the show. And by everyone, I mean Match's dog.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, I
What's
love this segment. It's good. This
Hey,
segment
bring
is
us this.
what we're here for. For a while there on Siskel Ebert, at the end of the show, they would review what came out on home video that week. What was their favorite pick of that? So that's kind of what we do on this show. This is the. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, they would call it streaming these days, but yes.
Yep.
Get the synthesizer.
Video
movie corner
pick
Pick of the week. Synthesizer. Wow. Keytar. Oh,
Absolutely.
man. The video movie corner pick of the week. This is where we highlight a film that we want you to know about that either Siskel and Ebert didn't touch back in the day, maybe came out before their show, or most likely it came out after, which is a lot of cases, because there's a lot of great movies I think of. I'm like, we should do that. Oh, wait, they weren't alive. They weren't doing the show anymore. I feel bad. So we have a video movie corner pick of the week. Matches, would you like to go first or last?
It doesn't matter to me. If you want to go last, that's fine with me.
Well, let's save the best for last. I'll go first.
Okay.
So my video movie corner pick of the week is... Now, sometimes we like to highlight movies that maybe you haven't heard of that we champion. I know you've heard of this movie, but you might not want to give this movie a chance. My video movie corner pick of the week is a movie you should give a chance to if you haven't seen it. It is based on a very popular Broadway musical that was very popular when you and I went to New York City in 2004. This musical was unescapable. It was transcendent. This movie made you feel the opposite of loathing. I'm talking about the film version from 2024 of Wicked. I'm talking about Wicked from 2024, starring America's sweetheart, Bowen Yang. I'm just kidding. He does have a small part. But, or the voice of the actor who played SpongeBob on stage. But no, It also stars Ariana Grande and help me out, my brain just went blank.
And
Cynthia.
yeah. Oh, what's her last name? I know this.
Arroyo.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I know.
we'll
She's
say that.
wonderful.
Okay.
She's beautiful. She's wonderful. Has the voice of an angel.
Yes, and also Ariana Grande surprised the heck out of me in this movie.
Really?
And how
I
good
still haven't seen it yet.
Okay, good that this is for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
like I want to
Ariana Grande,
see it. We have a group from work of me and a couple of other girls who wanted to watch this together. It's called Wicked Group LLC. We didn't get to go to the movies to see it, and we've been waiting so long to see it. We're the worst Wicked Group ever.
You are a corporation. Okay.
Yes.
So Wicked is based on the Broadway musical from, I believe, 03 to 04 is when it started, which is loosely based on a book called Wicked. Am I right? It was written by Gregory Maguire. And it's a new take on the Wicked Witch story on The Wizard of Oz. Now, lately, Disney and other people have been doing revisionist takes on classic villains showing, oh, they're not so bad. Maleficent's actually cool. Cruella de Vil's just a little naughty,
I actually like the Cruella de Vil movie. It was great.
I did too. My parents took my daughter to see it. It was the only movie playing that was relatively PG-13. Yeah. And they're like, will this be a little dark for her? And I'm like, I don't know. And it turns out she loved it.
Wow. It's a good movie. I saw it.
But she also loved Wicked. I took my daughter to see Wicked.
Really?
And she said it was mid, but I looked over at her and she was smiling and clapping along with the songs.
Oh, she's having the best time. She knows it.
Yes. Wicked is great. It is a new take on showing you the Wicked Witch was maybe not so wicked and what led up to that. Now, the movie is literally half the musical. Now, when I first heard it was going to be split into two parts, I was like, it doesn't need to be. And then I heard it was going to be almost 3 hours long, just the first movie. I was like, it doesn't need to be. Well, let me tell you something. By the end of that film, I was like, I want some more. It doesn't feel like almost, yes. If you're into that, if you're into musicals, if you're into fun movie versions of them, it does not feel like 3 hours. Now, to my wife, who I love with all my heart, a 3 hour movie feels like a 3 hour movie. Like,
yeah. No matter what it is.
Huh?
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is. Like she could watch a Sex in the City movie, which she loves Sex in the City. And if it was 3 hours, she'd be like, Yeah.
Like, and no, by all accounts, they're not very good. They haven't been very good.
It depends. Oh, Sex in the City movies. No, I thought you meant 3 hour films. Like the Batman was excellent. And she said it was a very good movie. She went with me and Groot, and she said, I'd like to see it once.
Wow.
Well,
was it 3 hours?
It was 3 hours, the Batman.
Was it?
It was close.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
But the songs in Wicked, the acting, the fun, it's just so good. I don't want to spoil anything. I would just say Ariana Grande is always funny when she hosts Saturday Night Live. And people forget she started off as an actress on Nickelodeon. And but she is great. She steals the movie. But Cynthia Erivo totally, at first I was like, I don't know. Should she play Elphaba? Should she play the Wicked Witch? She deserved it. She is excellent. She hits the notes that you want to hit. And yes, the movie does end with the signature song, Defying Gravity.
Yes.
So that is why, that is why Wicked, if I had stars to give it, I'd give it 4. And that's my video movie pick of the week. Wicked. You can find it, I believe, on Peacock? I'm not sure. On DVD.
It is on Peacock, yeah.
Yep. Or you can ride in my car with me and listen to the soundtrack. Either way.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's yours? Sorry that went so long.
Well, Shannon, it's okay. My video movie corner pick of the week is, and I'll make this a quick one for everybody. It's a new movie that just came out. I rented it, even though I realized it's on HBO Max now. It's called Mickey 17.
Oh!
It is by Boon Jong-ho.
Watch your language. Oh, no. Didn't he do Parasite?
Yes, he did Parasite. He did Snowpiercer. He did The Host. He did all of these wonderful movies.
Okay.
And I read the book last year because this movie got pushed back a couple years and it just came out in January. So I was like, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to read the book last year. I was a little underwhelmed by the book. I little bit thought it was just not very well written, and it kind of meandered as far as plot goes. But there was some good story. There was some good world building in there a little bit that, for some reason, Boon Jong-ho leaves out. But But the world building he does in this is fantastic. It actually brings it to life in wild ways. It's dark.
Okay.
It's funny. Let's see. Mark Ruffalo plays the president of this colony that's trying to make it, and he's like a charismatic, TV evangelist or something. Like, you don't quite trust him, and he's doing such a, like, I saw him from across the room in that movie, and I was like, is that Mark Ruffalo? Like,
I love Ruffalo.
Wow. Like, the hair is perfect, and him and Toni Collette are in it. They play like the mayor of sorts and his wife, and they're just so above everybody, you know.
Okay.
And it stars, what is his name? The Batman. Yeah, it stars the Batman. Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
We're not going to mention those other movies in where he sparkled.
Yeah, he's someone that owed a lot of debt to someone, and so he decided to become an expendable. Now, expendables here are not like we think of.
Oh, not like the Sylvester Stallone
not
movies.
Not like that one, no. He actually can be reprinted, and then his brain is uploaded with his memories, up-to-date memories. Yeah, so he can go out and be, like, he can be exposed to radiation and see what it does to him. When they go to this planet, they put him there to see, like, what it'll do to him, like, what kind of, how they can make a vaccine from it, and then they make him another body and put it on. And they're the kind of the lowest of the low of the whole colony.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're like the drones or the.
Yeah, and here we're starting with Mickey 17, the number 17 Mickey. In the book, it was Mickey 7. And I'm curious to read the second book, but I liked it. There were some things that old Boone left out. That
old Boone.
Yeah, old Boone left out that I don't know why he left out. Just a little world building there from the story that actually worked for me. Made it a bigger world, you know. Here it's very contained, and it's like, are there any other colonies like this? Is this the only one? Where did they come from? I don't know. I wasn't told for some reason. So that's my only complaint. But I think this movie, it didn't do well in the theater. It didn't get great scores.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know why they did this. They shelved this movie for 2 years. It's a Boon Jong-ho movie, you know, like, he's the best. It may not be his best movie, but it's going to be known as a classic down the line because it's way better than that. It is. Yeah. It was fun. I liked it. Yeah.
All right. So your video movie corner pick of the week is Mickey 17.
Yes,
now,
available on HBO for free. Well, with your subscription.
That's right. And you don't have to watch Mickey's 1 through 16 to understand the plot.
Absolutely. It's the best part of the whole movie.
Speaking of the best part, that was synthesizer.
The video movie corner pick of the week. Shannon, where have you been?
What? What do you mean, where have I been? Who are you? You don't look like my friend Matches at all. You look much more handsome and wise. No, you're not Matches. I mean, he was handsome, but you look like ooh la la magnifique. I don't know. I've been gone. They tell me it's 2024, but it was 1995. It was 1995. I don't know. I fell in a ball pit, and when I finally got out, I'd been drinking a Surge and playing Nintendo 64. And yes, this is totally whack. Oh my gosh. Like,
I've got worse news for you, Shannon.
TMI.
It's actually 2025 and not 2024. So,
no. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been 30 years. I didn't even get to graduate. This is not cool. I mean, oh my gosh. I need to get back to my town, Sunnydale.
I remember you being here.
Zip code 90210. Do what?
I remember you being here the whole time. You're not fooling anyone, Shannon.
No. I'm pretty sure I got... Oh, my gosh. This is what I look like in 2025? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I'm gorgeous. Hello, me.
Whatever you do, don't stand up. I'm just kidding.
Yo, my legs. They took my legs. You monster. Oh, you're saying my butt has gotten big.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
You got the junk in the trunk.
Yeah, more cushion.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Okay.
Oh, Oh my gosh. Well, that was our little time travel portion of the show. Of course, if you must know, NOMS is brought to you by our new sponsor, So's Your Face. So's Your Face. When you need a comeback that just possibly can't be said to anyone else, when you get the insult of your life or the judgment you don't need, try a little So's Your Face. Hey, Matches, say something a little judgmental to me or a little mean. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can.
Anything.
All right.
Just stretch.
If I must. Shannon.
Uh-huh.
You are the worst in the whole world.
Oh.
And I don't know if you can recover from that.
So's Your Face. Boom! Dude. That's right. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to try it on you. You ready? You ready? Okay. You do So's Your Face to me. Matches, you are incredibly handsome and one of the best friends I've ever known. And I got to say, there is nothing I love more than looking at you, you charming, handsome, masculine example.
You just want me to say So's Your Face.
Maybe.
Okay.
So's Your Face. Also, you could do things like your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom goes to college. Oh, you know what's funny? I said that my wife, my mother-in-law went to college after she had her kids. My wife and her brother. And one day, as a joke, like Napoleon Dynamite, she said something about college, and I said, your mom goes to college? And she's like, my mom did go to college. And I was like, she did.
Touche.
Good for her.
Touche.
Yeah. Touche.
No, that reminds me of earlier of a thing. It's a viral interview going around with Anthony Jeselnik. He's talking about how he went on Larry King with Norm Macdonald.
Oh, I saw this.
You see this? Yeah. Norm Macdonald said, hey, I know we hadn't been seeing eye to eye, but, I thought we could do something when we got up there. What if we get up there and just trash each other, call each other terrible or whatever? Yes. And so he gets up there. Anthony Jeselnik gets up there. And he's like, what do you think about Norm Macdonald? And he's like, Norm Macdonald's a piece of shit. He really tears into him. And then Norm Macdonald goes up there and he's like, Larry King goes, what do you think of Anthony Jeselnik? And he's like, Anthony Jeselnik is, what did he say? He's like an angel.
I think he's like the best there is right now.
The
he's
best there is. Yeah, he said Anthony Jeselnik is the best there is.
And you know what he said right before he went up to Larry King? Norm Macdonald said, that was great. Now watch this.
Yeah, that was great. Now watch this.
Oh, we did not deserve Norm Macdonald. Do you know, I got to tell you, my wife, she loved Norm Macdonald, and he was her favorite Weekend Update anchor on Saturday Night Live. But I got to be honest with you, I did not like him at first. I thought he was smug and smarmy. He grew on me. And I understood I wasn't getting his humor at the time, and now I get it.
Did he grow on you after he was on SNL or during SNL?
Yes. After, I still watched it and laughed.
Oh wow, yeah, I was on him but I don't know, white on rice, from the beginning. I think at first he took me a second to get used to because he wasn't the person before him, of course. And then
I loved Kevin Nealon.
Colin, was it Colin?
Colin Quinn, yeah, he tried.
And I was like, no. But
half his jokes were like this. They were like, punchline.
Yeah, but McDonald's is just not afraid to say anything, even if it would get him in trouble. He didn't care. It cost him his job, probably.
Well, he was told he wasn't funny. And so
he kept making the best O.J. Simpson jokes.
I was about to say,
and O.J. Simpson plays golf with whatever of NBC, he was in there, and they were like, that's not cool, And
then he would go back to a joke that didn't work during the show and still do it.
Yeah.
It's so much, for instance, okay, now I appreciate it. Now I go back and watch Saturday Night Live news, and I'm like, man, why was I, I was laughing, but I was like, why was I not loving it so much?
I don't know why I got it, but I did. I loved him from the beginning. I'm glad. I'm so glad.
He did a funny joke where apparently it was, there was the Supreme Court justice. It was they were going to pick a new one, and it shows a picture of Hillary Clinton whispering in Bill Clinton's ear. He goes, and the search for the new Supreme Court justice has begun. Talking about Hillary suggesting it.
Oh,
see? It's subtle.
That's good. It is. Yeah.
Speaking of subtle, how can they get in touch with us?
Well, you can get in touch with us down below.
What?
In the comments section. Oh. Yeah, here on YouTube or here on Spotify or here on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to us. If you don't want to see our ugly mugs, you can listen to us video free on Apple Podcast. You can
That's
listen
right.
to us
And
for free
imagine-
on Spotify, freemium. Yeah, I don't know if you know you can get your podcast for free on Spotify. You don't need to subscribe or anything. You get them.
I know. That's so great.
It's
That's so great.
Yeah.
Now, Groot has a Spotify subscription, and I told him, I was like, hey, you can listen to us on Spotify, and you don't even have to have a subscription. And he's like, no, thanks.
Oh, you won't even watch us together.
No, but he's my son. You got to understand that.
Yeah.
He probably watches it and doesn't tell me. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Like, because I see all these celebrities and like talking about their kids, and like they don't care. I'm just dad. Like they do not care. Like,
I know, right? They're like, why is that person running up to you so happy? I don't.
yeah. Kids don't
Cut
have
the
to care.
crust
That's
off
what
my
they
bread.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I broke my mama's heart in my don't care phase, but that's just how we were.
I don't care if you're Deadpool, old man. Take me to my play date.
That's right.
Well,
All right.
speaking of play dates,
It was a
It's
fun
been
time.
fun.
Yeah, it has.
yeah. I guess we're not saying goodbye to the 80s because I won't tell you what we're doing next week, but it is in the late 80s. So we're going to spend a little
I'll
bit more time in this
never get over the 80s. You can't make me, Shannon.
Never. It's too radical.
It
Oh, that's right. Well, we'll see you next time until Motley Crue comes out with the Spanish version of Girls, Girls, Girls called Chicas, Chicas, Chicas. Bye, everybody. Bye. Yeah, I knew you were, but what am I?
Nom nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.